Welcome to Veil of the Bible, where ancient mysteries come alive through powerful storytelling. Today, we uncover one of history's most compelling enigmas, a mystery that has puzzled scholars for centuries and changed millions of lives forever. Before we begin this incredible journey, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. Share your thoughts in the comments below and let us know what biblical mysteries fascinate you most. Your engagement keeps these stories alive. Imagine receiving a vision so detailed, so precise, that it accurately predicts events 700 years in the future. This isn't science fiction. This is the remarkable story of Isaiah, a prophet whose words would echo through eternity. In the ancient kingdom of Judah, around 740 BC, a young man named Isaiah received divine revelations that would shake the foundations of human understanding. His prophecies spoke of a coming Messiah with stunning accuracy. But here's where it gets fascinating. Isaiah described specific details about this Messiah's birth, life, suffering, and death. Details that wouldn't make sense for another 7 centuries. Coincidence? Or something far more extraordinary? Tonight, we'll examine the most compelling evidence connecting Isaiah's ancient prophecies to Jesus Christ. We'll explore prophecies so specific, so detailed, that they've converted skeptics and strengthened faith worldwide. The prophet Isaiah lived during turbulent times. The Assyrian Empire threatened Israel's very existence. Kings rose and fell. Yet amidst this chaos, Isaiah received visions of hope that would transcend time itself. What makes Isaiah's prophecies truly remarkable isn't just their accuracy, but their impossible specificity. He described events, circumstances, and details that no human mind could fabricate or predict naturally. From a virgin birth to crucifixion details, from rejection by his own people to resurrection hope, Isaiah painted a portrait of the Messiah that would later perfectly match one man in history. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. To truly understand this mystery, we must journey back to ancient Jerusalem, to a young prophet who would receive visions that would change everything. Isaiah's prophecies weren't written after Jesus lived, as some skeptics claim. Archaeological evidence confirms these scrolls existed centuries before Christ's birth, making the correlations even more astounding. The Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in 1947, contained complete copies of Isaiah's prophecies dating to at least 125 BC. This proves beyond doubt that these predictions preceded Jesus by generations. So the question remains, could Isaiah have somehow known about Jesus Christ 7 centuries before his birth? The evidence we're about to present will astound you and challenge everything you think you know. Prepare yourself for a journey through time, prophecy, and divine revelation. What you're about to discover may forever change your understanding of biblical prophecy and the identity of the true Messiah. Are you ready to unlock the mystery that has captivated believers and skeptics alike for over 2,000 years? Let's begin our investigation into Isaiah's remarkable prophecies about the coming Messiah. Isaiah ben Amoz lived in Jerusalem during one of Israel's most dangerous periods. The mighty Assyrian war machine was conquering nation after nation, and Judah stood directly in their path. It was approximately 740 BC when Isaiah received his first divine vision in the temple. He saw the Lord seated on a throne, high and exalted, with seraphim calling out, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty." This wasn't just a spiritual experience. Isaiah described being cleansed by a burning coal touched to his lips, symbolically preparing him to receive and deliver messages that would span centuries of human history. But Isaiah's calling went beyond typical prophetic ministry. God revealed to him detailed information about a future Messiah who would come not just to Israel, but to all nations of the earth. The first messianic prophecy appears in Isaiah chapter 7, verse 14. "Therefore, the Lord himself will give you a sign. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel." This prophecy was revolutionary. In Isaiah's time, the concept of a virgin birth was virtually unthinkable. Yet he proclaimed it with absolute certainty, describing details that wouldn't be understood for centuries. Isaiah didn't stop there. In chapter 9, verse 6, he declared, "For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders, and he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God." Notice the divine titles Isaiah attributed to this coming child: Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. These weren't human characteristics, but divine attributes assigned to a baby yet to be born. The prophet also revealed where this Messiah would minister. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 1 speaks of Galilee. In the future, he will honor Galilee of the nations by the way of the sea beyond the Jordan. This geographic specificity is remarkable. Isaiah pinpointed the exact region where this future Messiah would conduct his primary ministry, Galilee, a region that wouldn't gain prominence until centuries later. But Isaiah's most detailed messianic prophecy appears in chapter 53, describing a suffering servant whose description would perfectly match the crucifixion accounts written 700 years later. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Isaiah 53:3. This wasn't the conquering king most expected, but a suffering servant who would bear humanity's pain. Isaiah continued, "But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed." These words describe crucifixion with startling accuracy, including details about piercing and the redemptive purpose of the Messiah's suffering. Yet crucifixion wouldn't be invented by Romans for another 400 years. Isaiah received these visions during a time when the Messiah concept was barely understood, yet his prophecies contained details so specific that they read like eyewitness accounts of Jesus' life and death. Let's examine Isaiah's most stunning prophecy in detail. Isaiah 53 begins, "Who has believed our message, and to whom has the arm of the Lord been revealed?" This question would echo through history. He grew up before him like a tender shoot and like a root out of dry ground. Isaiah described the Messiah's humble origins, growing up in obscurity rather than in royal palaces or centers of power. The prophecy continues with heartbreaking detail. He had no beauty or majesty to attract us to him, nothing in his appearance that we should desire him. The Messiah wouldn't be recognized by outward appearance. Isaiah then describes the Messiah's rejection. He was despised and rejected by mankind, a man of suffering and familiar with pain. Like one from whom people hide their faces, he was despised. But here's where Isaiah's prophecy becomes extraordinary. He reveals the purpose behind this suffering. Surely he took up our pain and bore our suffering, yet we considered him punished by God. The next verse contains perhaps the most precise description of atonement ever written. But he was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him. Isaiah continues, "We all, like sheep, have gone astray. Each of us has turned to our own way, and the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all." Universal salvation through substitutionary sacrifice. The prophecy describes the Messiah's response to suffering. He was oppressed and afflicted, yet he did not open his mouth. He was led like a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before its shearers is silent. Isaiah even prophesied about the Messiah's burial. He was assigned a grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death, though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth. But Isaiah's prophecy doesn't end with death. Verse 10 declares, "Yet it was the Lord's will to crush him and cause him to suffer, and though the Lord makes his life an offering for sin, he will see his offspring." The resurrection is implied in verse 11. After he has suffered, he will see the light of life and be satisfied. By his knowledge, my righteous servant will justify many, and he will bear their iniquities. Isaiah also prophesied about the Messiah's miraculous ministry in chapter 35. Then will the eyes of the blind be opened and the ears of the deaf unstopped. Then will the lame leap like a deer. The virgin birth prophecy in Isaiah 7:14 contains another remarkable detail, and will call him Emmanuel, which means God with us. The Messiah would literally be divine incarnate. Isaiah's prophecies painted a complete portrait: divine birth, humble origins, miraculous ministry, rejection by his people, substitutionary death, burial with the rich, and ultimate vindication. Before we continue, we want to hear from you. What aspect of Isaiah's prophecies do you find most compelling? The virgin birth, the suffering servant, the detailed crucifixion description? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for staying with us through this incredible journey. Your dedication to understanding biblical truth means everything to us. What we're about to reveal next will absolutely astound you. Now comes the moment of truth. When we compare Isaiah's 700-year-old prophecies with the historical accounts of Jesus Christ's life, the correlations are nothing short of miraculous. Matthew 1:23 records the fulfillment of Isaiah 7:14. All this took place to fulfill what the Lord had said through the prophet. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel. Jesus was indeed born of a virgin in the small town of Bethlehem, exactly as prophesied. Mary had never been with a man, yet she conceived through divine intervention, fulfilling Isaiah's impossible prediction. The geographic prophecy found perfect fulfillment. Matthew 4:12-16 explicitly states that Jesus moved to Galilee to fulfill what was said through the prophet Isaiah about Galilee of the Gentiles. Jesus' ministry centered in Galilee, the very region Isaiah had specified 700 years earlier. He taught by the Sea of Galilee, performed miracles there, and called his disciples from that exact area. The miraculous healings Isaiah predicted became hallmarks of Jesus' ministry. The blind received sight, the deaf heard, the lame walked, and the dead were raised to life, exactly as Isaiah foretold. Isaiah's description of the suffering servant finds its perfect fulfillment in Jesus' passion. He was indeed despised and rejected by his own people, betrayed, arrested, and condemned to death. The crucifixion details match Isaiah's prophecy with stunning precision. Jesus was pierced by nails and spear, remained silent before his accusers, and his suffering brought redemption to humanity. Even the burial detail was fulfilled exactly. Jesus was crucified between two criminals, but buried in the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea, a wealthy man, fulfilling assigned a grave with the wicked and with the rich in his death. The resurrection Isaiah implied became historical reality. Jesus rose from the dead on the third day, seeing the light of life and being satisfied with his redemptive work, exactly as the prophet foretold. The statistical probability of these prophecies being fulfilled by chance is astronomically impossible. Mathematicians calculate odds of billions to 1 against such precise correlations occurring randomly. What we've discovered today isn't mere coincidence or clever interpretation. These are documented historical facts, matching detailed prophetic declarations made 7 centuries before their fulfillment. The evidence is overwhelming. Isaiah's prophecies find their complete fulfillment in Jesus Christ. The virgin birth, Galilean ministry, suffering, death, burial, and resurrection all occurred exactly as predicted. So we ask you, what do you think? Are these remarkable coincidences, or did Isaiah truly receive divine revelations about Jesus Christ 700 years before his birth? Share your thoughts below, subscribe for more biblical mysteries, and don't miss our next incredible investigation.